Closed. Closed. This one. I want to complain and moan noisily. I just did it to God. Now I'm going to do it to you. I want to talk about comedy. I want to talk about making content. I want to talk about burnout from making content. And I hope that's interesting to you. Now it seems to be the time of year when people get burnout, because I've been doing this a long time. I started making my first podcasts in 2011, but I didn't know how to get them online until 2013. So I just kept making them. I kept making audio files. And then in 2013, I figured out how to put my RSS feed from SoundCloud to iTunes, and that was the beginning. And then I started making PowerPoint presentations, and those are my first YouTube videos. Really, it was less PowerPoint presentations, which I already had made, but they were just slideshows. I'd take my audio recordings that I'd stockpiled, and I just set them to slideshows. And my early YouTubes would get like 9,000 views of just me talking. And I still have them, and you will never hear them. I will never put them online in any way to hear again, and I'm glad they're gone and lost forever. And you know, it's much better. I like what I do now. But I've gotten burnout from making videos since the beginning of making YouTubes. Like I would make them for a while. I'm like, okay, I worked really hard at my hobby, my free hobby, where I never made a penny. And I always got more views in the past than I get now. Like now I'm like, I watch them take views. I read the book of Revelation and it had 8 views. I came back the next day because I wanted to upload more. And I was like, oh look, they took a view away. Now it's down to 7 views. Really? You gotta take 1 view? How do you unwatch a video? Because it happens to my videos all the time. The last time I saw a bunch of views get taken away from my channel, it was 100 views were taken away from a video I did on Neon Genesis Evangelion. The video was like climbing, and I was uploading, and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened to the 100 views got taken away all at the same time? Because I talked about how Neon Genesis Evangelion is really about Satan's short season, and that's kind of a popular topic now. People are figured it out that hey, I think we're living in Satan's short season. And I think what maybe helped, well, it's God that helped people figure that out. But I think what helped people figure that out was, doesn't it seem like they're kind of setting us up for a fake, for the wrong part of Book of Revelations. We're in Revelation 20, you and me, but they're setting it up like, hey, this never happened before, and we're supposed to, all this Israel stuff, we're supposed to be fighting because we're going into the end of the world. And it already happened, and Jesus had his millennial reign, and now Satan's been let out for a short time. And if anything's happening, they're staging a fake end of the world, right? And I think they're going to use some of that blue beam stuff, some of that Project Blue Beam. And do you ever see the Blue Beam in Dubai? I think they're going to use that to make like fake Battle of Armageddon that already happened kind of thing. I mean, we're set for Battle of Gog Magog, and I already feel as though I should have started this video out differently. But what I've said already is part of the reason why I'm burnt out again. I don't want to be one of those guys who makes disturbing content I guess good for me that not a lot of people see it, and good for the people not watching it. Do you like my videos? Are you one of the subscribers? Because I think the highest viewed videos on my channel were me trashing Sam Hyde, which I don't even have. I deleted those videos, and I'm like, I feel as though I'm like, I don't want to make that kind of video where I'm just trashing people. Now I started out doing comedy videos, and I started out doing a comedy podcast back in 2011, even though I didn't know how to get it online, let alone on YouTube. But then when I did, learn how to do it, so I've been consistently making videos and podcasts, well, since 2011, but with videos since like 2013. And then I really hit the swing of it probably somewhere in 2015, where I had built up a following, and I could see that they were going to start censoring everything on YouTube, which they really did by 2016. So my philosophy for making videos was, I'm going to let her rip and just do whatever I want. And I had no restrictions or limitations like I do now, because God. I just did whatever I wanted. I said the dirtiest things. I told all my sexual exploits that I wanted to talk about, to boast, or whatever you want to call it. I was vulgar. I cursed. I was lewd. I just said anything I wanted to do. I did. I made sketches. I made comedy bits, and I thought, I want to have fun with this. And like the more you make videos, I suppose you can make a lot of videos and never get better at it. But I could see my progress at getting better making videos, and I was building a following. I don't mean like people follow me, like I just mean like I had subscribers. You know what I mean? Like I was just making funny stuff and people were watching it. Probably they were making fun of me because I was either drunk or high all the time. And some of my old videos, I mean, I was one of those guys that I cringe when it was cringe, where you could see me nodding out, or I'm so sleepy, as the video goes on, I'm just like sinking down in the chair because I was so high and like the weed or drunk, and it was a mess. So sometimes I'd be on and I thought it was good, and then other times I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna upload this video, but I'm not gonna watch it, because if I watched it I wouldn't upload it. I'd know it was bad, and I'd put up a video. I'm like, well, there was this one funny like 5 minutes, so instead of cutting that funny 5 minutes out, you got like 45 minutes to an hour of just watching me degrade myself in videos, and probably being made fun of in the comments and not even knowing it. And now that's just, they have a name for that. I mean, they call that lolcow. I don't know that I was a lolcow, but if I didn't sober up, I could have been, because I've seen so much content that other people made, like Mr. Medicare stuff, or Mediocre, however you want to pronounce it. It's supposed to be Mr. Mediocre, right? But everybody says Medicare, which I think is actually funnier. Like he wanted to be called Mr. Mediocre, but everybody calls him Medicare. Whatever. That's funny. So anyway, that kind of content, and I know if you're watching this, you know who that guy is. And if you don't, hey, maybe you can laugh at other people's expense, because he's been doing that for I don't even know how long. He was the internet aristocrat, remember him? That's Medicare. And he's still alive. I thought he said he was dying, but he's still, bless him, he's still alive. But he would find this stuff that's kind of hard to find now, of people that aren't even on the map making videos, and then he would make them stars. Look, here's another shit stain. Here's another skid mark guy, or a crazy lady. Just the gang stalking videos. Have you ever seen gang stalking videos? That's heartbreaking. It's schizophrenia. And I guess because of the kind of content that I would make, it's demons. Like everything's demons, basically. I had no idea how lousy with demons, like fleas on a hound, that most people are. We're full of demons, like Beetlejuice. Remember that from Beetlejuice? I got demons running all through me, all through me. I'm like, yeah, that's most people. Moldy people, moldy or demon living in the basement online all the time, being hypnotized by the monitor. I heard a horrible thing recently from like in real life, and I was saying, oh, well, you know how the kids, it's like Gen Alpha they call them, and if you pull the tablet away from them, the kids go nuts. Like even in a restaurant, they're in a restaurant and the kid's eating in front of the tablet, and that's sad. And they were like, yeah, I know, it's terrible, I've seen those too. And then they were talking about their kid, and that their kid, well, but my kid only needs it to go to sleep at night. So every night this little kid is going to sleep watching a tablet and then dozing off. And I was like, that's awful. So people are online all the time. I remember years ago when I had first found out that people were doing like 8-hour live streams. I mean, I knew about cam girl houses where there was the cameras on throughout the house, and then maybe you could see somebody taking a shit or whatever. That's just, you know, who wants to see that? I guess because they're whatever. But people were like knowingly like just, you know, pissing inside jugs and doing 8-hour live streams. And now people do more, even longer than that, and they just stay online. They live their lives online. Like they said that they would. There was people that said, oh, people are just going to live their whole life on the camera. It's like willfully signing up for 1984. Because if you remember from Orwell's book 1984, John had to hide from the camera to write notes and stuff like that, because Big Brother was always watching. That's where Big Brother is watching you. They made a reality show called Big Brother, and it's predicated on George Orwell's book 1984, where in the future you're always on camera all the time. And you know about this from your life because maybe you have a little sticker or a piece of tape over your laptop camera. I know guys that pulled them out of their phones. They literally took apart their phones to pull the camera out of their phone. Be careful doing that, because lithium or whatever. I never pulled a camera out of my phone. I just put a little yard sale price sticker on it, because it's like a perfect complete circle, and you just put that on top of, you know, the camera in your laptop or whatever, so that people can't see you when you goon, because that's what they call it now. They call it gooning. It's appropriate. That's a good word. I remember when cooming was invented, when I saw $1 Million Extremes Moms. It was Nick Rochefort invented that word cooming. And now that's what people do. They coom and they goon. They edge. And women do this too. Women, girls, whatever, same. It's suspended adolescence in the West. They talk about fall of the West. Hey, isn't that where everybody wanted to go for a better life? Hey, if the West falls, what's it like for the rest of the world? Is it going to be great for you guys? Is it going to be business as usual? Or is our disease going to infect the rest of the world? Most of my views come from, there's some in the US, some in the UK, but it used to be mostly US and Canada. But whatever's going on in Canada, I don't think I'm not allowed to be seen. People go to jail for saying the shit that I say, and what I say is probably lame considering the better videos that other people make talking about the same things that I talk about. You know, and they research better and stuff like that. Like I'm getting older, so I'm just full of it. I'm full of all the things that I've lived, and it's accumulation. So now I can just sit down in front of the camera and I can spew this stuff out. And I started out wanting to be a comedy channel, and instead I'm talking about demons and God and Jesus, and my umpteenth Neon Genesis Evangelion is about Satan's short season. And now I'm aware from other people's content that they are talking about Evangelion and what it's really about, and I'm just gonna call it. I'm the guy that did that video, and I saw it get a lot of views. So now other people talk about it and I'm not being acknowledged. That is kind of weirdly pisses me off, because I know that there's such a thing as parallel thinking, but I was like, it's about preventing it's about preventing Jesus's return. Like God sends his angels, and then the Lilians, the people of Earth, in Neon Genesis Evangelion, kill him. And now other people are talking about that, and nobody was talking about it when I did, because I searched it. I looked every possible search. Evangelion is about preventing Jesus's second coming, and I just typed it every single way you could until I was like, oh, it's actually really about the short season. And everybody was, short season was in the air, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's what Evangelion's about. Whether Hideki Anno did that knowingly or unwittingly, I don't even care anymore. But they did change the Wikipedia definition of what the show was about, and it was after I made that video, and nobody else has any videos still talking about it the way that I did. And I took them down. I didn't... the point where I'm at now with making videos is I want to be funny, but I don't want to bum anybody out. And I like to be informed about the state of the world, but it can be depressing. And I hate the idea of people being black-pilled, because the black pill just means like that's the cyanide capsule, right? You're just biting down on the cyanide capsule. I give up. I don't care anymore. I don't want to hear about it. And I didn't want to... You know, it was getting to me. Like, people get burnout in making videos, and I think that a lot of people that make... I never made money making videos. I didn't even try to make money. I used to threaten t-shirts. That's about it. And I hate commercials on YouTube. Like, I don't want... Like, that's why I clip grab. I just did the video on that. It's still up. It says, I hate commercials on YouTube, so clip grab anything you want to see and watch it offline. But I'm no different than you. Most of the stuff that I watch is just like gossip, basically. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad that's not me. Did you hear about what happened to iDubbbz? Isn't his wife crazy? Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to know about it. Oh, Kino Casino or whatever. They're jerks. You know, it's one thing to craft, you know, like do comedy sketches, and you want to have like good lighting, and you know, to put effort into it. But now it's just easy to do the same thing that I'm doing right now. I have a set, I sit down in front of the camera, and it's even simpler for a lot of other people. I mean, I can just leave curtains up, there they are. But other people just sit in the room and you can see all their junk behind them. Oh, you believe that guy has that book? Look, he has like a shitty Borders Kama Sutra. Not Borders books, Barnes and Nobles. Look, he's got a Kama Sutra, and that's stupid. Or, you know, whatever. But in the future, rather in the book of George Orwell's 1984, the camera's on all the time, and some people hate it. But the world that we live in, they made us love it. Like BlackRock said, in the future you own nothing and you'll love it. And in that movie The Circle, which is based on a book by Dave Eggers, I think, it's about being on camera all the time. And by the end of the book, or the end of the movie, isn't Tom Hanks in the movie version, I think? By the end of the movie, the girl's like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep being on camera all the time. I did an experiment, and now my whole life's gonna be on camera. And it's bringing to mind when Katy Perry did something where she had like a mental breakdown, and she shaved her head and she dyed it blonde, like Legend of Billie Jean, because that's like an MK Ultra thing or whatever. Do you ever see the celebrities go away? I did these videos too. The celebrities going away to rehab, and then it's usually women, and they come out with their hair cut short and dyed blonde, and it means something to their occultism or masonry or a scarlet woman, or I don't know what it means, but it means something. It's MK Ultra stuff. They did it to Kanye too. He went into rehab or something. They said, Kanye, you're a little bit manic, and then they locked him up for a while, and then twice he came out with his hair dyed blonde. They show him coming out of rehab, and they have it's a new version of you. I don't know what's with the blonde hair. They did it to Roseanne. Remember Roseanne Barr? They did it to Katy. They do it to all of them. They go away and they come back with their hair short and dyed blonde every time they have a mental breakdown. So Katy Perry was having like this online mental breakdown, and that was like the selling point. Like, I guess she was doing an album, and then she sat down with a black psychologist, and he talked about how she was crazy, and everybody needs BetterHelp.com. And it's been known for like 6, 7, if not 8 years that BetterHelp.com was a scam, and people knew it from the first, but then they were exposed and it kept going. Like Honey. Honey was exposed years ago for being a scam, and people apologized for it being a scam and that they ever had anything to do with it. And now again recently they're saying Honey's a scam. I'm like, yeah, I remember that from, again, probably like 5, 8 years ago, that it was revealed it was a scam, because the people that were advertising for Honey apologized for it and explained what it was, and it kept going. I've seen videos this year still where the commercials they still were advertising for Honey after everybody else like blew it out of the water years ago, whatever. And I remember watching Jeffrey Epstein's basement burn down, and seeing the news before you ever heard about him. I remember seeing a video where they're like, yeah, Jeffrey Epstein, they're spending $28 million to destroy his basement. And I was like, that's crazy. I mean, what was it? It was probably abattoir, a place of worship, an abattoir, an orgy palace, abattoir, same for that guy, right? And it was all kids. And this looks like a daycare center, whatever. A daycare center, abattoir, orgy palace. So, this is the time of year. It's like June going into summer. It's the end of June, but I've noticed this cycle because I've been doing YouTubes since like 2015, let's just say. Like where I figured I got the hang of it. Even though I know I said I started in 2011. But yeah, I really started getting going with the YouTubes by 2015. So I've noticed a cycle of burnout because I've gone through it myself. You make so much content, you talk about whatever you want. You can just go for what they call daily slop. Oh, what's new? And you just gobble up everything that they give you online, and then you spit it back out, your takes on it, and try to be funny about it. And it's the same thing people do with Twitter. It's even easier on Twitter. You just type the words, right? Oh, that's funny. You're really good on Twitter. You didn't even know you were a wit. But then the more you tweet, the better you get at it. And there's a passage in the Lao Tzu that I always, I can't remember which one it is, but in the Do De Ying, there's this thing that says, be wary if you live in a time when the kingdom, everyone becomes crafty and sly, and everyone becomes a wit, and the kinds of music people listen to, these are all like signs that your kingdom is going to fall or whatever. And the Lao Tzu, the Do De Ying, was written when Lao Tzu was leaving his city or kingdom or wherever that he lived, and he's like, I'm getting out of here, it's falling apart for you guys. And then he wrote everything on how to understand the warning signs of like societal, cultural collapse. Like I remember years ago, I'm just gonna keep jumping around here, Camille Paglia, or however you want to pronounce it, Camille Paglia. She talked, and she's a lesbian, and she talked about how transgenderism is a sign of societal collapse historically. It's true. Transgender stuff is a sign of societal collapse because you don't even know who you are anymore, right? And if they get that to be popular, so that's what they want to do. History, you can look at it as a series of reforms. So now they want to build, a brave new world, to reference Huxley. So they have to tear the old one down, and part of, I guess, tearing down to build the 15-minute city is they're just burning shit. They're just like literally razing the land. Oh, that's premium real estate in California and Hawaii. Let's burn it down and then we'll build what we want. So they have the city planning meetings for the smart city, which they did in Hawaii. First they had the city planning meeting for the 15-minute smart city, and then they melted it down or laserized it or whatever. They set it on fire, and then they didn't burn any places with the blue roofs. No, keep those. Those are our buddies. That's Oprah, Tom Hanks, and all the other bozos. And then they did the same thing in California. I don't know, did they have blue roofed houses in California that were spared or whatever? I know I saw like weird stuff that looked like they were using like jet lasers or whatever. Did you ever see the laser jets? I remember seeing George Bush Jr. and he's like standing in front of a jet with a laser on it, and it just looked like a it doesn't matter, it was just like a little ball, it looked like a crystal ball ornament, and then there was a gun thing out of it, and that was the laser at the front of the jet. Did you ever see the laser jets? I have. Photograph with W. And so, you know, just starting fires. You can just start a fire too from the land. You don't have to use laser satelloons or laser jets or whatever. You can just do it from down here. You can just use have lithium smart boxes on your smart meters. You can just blow up smart meters. They do. That's why they put lithium in them. Do you hear about how in California they made a ruling? I don't know if it's the whole state or if it's just in a certain county or LA or whatever, that if you're going to mow your lawn, does anybody have lawns in LA? Is it just done? That you have to have an electric lawnmower. I'm like, yeah, that sounds safe. What about phones? How much lithium's in a phone? How does that work? Hey, we got the new iPhone. This one's going to explode. Whatever. So it's the time of burnout. Like, this is the time of year, if you've noticed, there's a bunch of people that make content and they just stopped doing it. Maybe it's the summer fever. You have spring fever and summer fever. It's like, yeah, it's just, I want to go out and do stuff. It's warm and the weather's more, you know, you stay inside, it's cold, you make videos, and then the weather gets better. So it's time to go out and live and do stuff because you can. You don't need rock salt or any of these things to, you have to keep rock salt in your car. Do you know about that? Okay. That's mostly for Canadians, I guess. But it depends on where you live in America, too. If you know what that means, you know what it means. You have to have rock salt in your car for the winter. So we have weather here. All of it. I could just do an episode talking about how weird the weather is here. It was super hot, so before, like the sun's coming up around 5:30 or whatever, and it's hot already, and now today we had unnatural rain, and the thunder, lots of thunder, and then the rain comes, and now it's so cold that I was like, should I put the heater back on for a day? This is not normal weather. That's geoengineering for you. I did the videos on this already. I know that none of my videos are up anymore. This episode, I guess, was supposed to be about taking them down. How I took the videos down and why. Burnout. Like, I've been through this. I was making videos since like 2015. I said before I never finished that point where it really got going. So I know about these cycles of burnout. And I've seen other people go through these cycles of burnout, and then they keep going, especially if your money's invested in this. If you like somebody who makes content for money, well, then you just keep going. You've made it your work, and you're like, I'll get you. They get over the hurdle. Maybe people stop making content for a while, and there's all different like levels of, like, somebody will come out strong and they'll make a bunch of content and it'll be really great, and then they'll get burned out. I think people get burnout on the content they make sometimes because if they're really frequent with it and they do like daily slop stuff, and I guess I kind of did. They didn't call it daily slop back then, but now they call it daily slop. I used to do that. Oh, what's in the news and weather? And then I would just do what I'm doing now is I'd turn on the camera and I'd do my takes on it, and I thought, well, I'll use YouTube as my open mic, and the more I do it, I'll get better at it. Just like the more somebody makes witty tweets, they'll get better at it. Like the more you do the thing, the more you learn about it. You hope. I mean, sometimes people do the same stuff over and over again and never get anywhere, and there's no progress. I remember doing stand-up open mic comedy, and there was this one guy who kept honing to say 5 minutes, and he really was getting better at refining it and putting the emphasis everywhere he wanted, but there wasn't any jokes. There wasn't a single place to laugh, but that was his 5 minutes. And I watched him over the weeks, because I was there to refine my bits. It was an open mic on a Wednesday night, Wednesday open mic. And he was just refining this bit. He would fall down here, and you could see him getting better at what he was doing, but it wasn't funny to anyone. And nobody was funny at the Wednesday open mic because nobody goes out to have drinks on a Wednesday night. It's just all other people that are at the open mic because they want to do comedy. So we've heard you watch the same people week after week hone 5 minutes so that they can go up on Saturday for 15 minutes to a paying crowd. So nobody was, nobody was really laughing at anybody because there'd only be like a stray, like people having a business, doing some kind of business, like businessmen or whatever, or people out of town, and they will come in on a Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like it was the same crowd. It was just other people trying to be comedians. So nobody was funny because we've heard the same shit. Unless somebody new came in. Somebody new would join the open mic crowd and then do good 3 times and then fail the 3rd time and then not come back for a while, or YouTube is evil. You can't get your stuff seen. It's really hard. You really have to work at it. And if you want to get attention, you really do have to monetize your channel, I would say, or be really good and hope that somebody else that has an audience sees you and then promotes you. But it was just my hobby. I said, this is my open mic. I just want to get better at it. But then I went away from comedy and I just started talking about state of the world stuff and God, and I wanted that to be funny too. And I can see my progression of just doing and saying whatever I want because YouTube was going to shut down our freedoms, and then there was the first adpocalypse and the second adpocalypse, and then the elections in 2016 where they censored the shit out of a lot of people, and I just became like invisible since then. And I'm like even impressed that I could build, I think I have 320 subscribers. I'm kind of impressed by that it's been sustained, that I guess people just forgot that they were subscribed. I'm glad they didn't delete it, my channel though, but they do delete my views. I said this up front. So I've noticed people burning out, and people just go for a long time and they make money and then they quit because they get demonetized or they just burn out. And I've seen, stuff that I talked about myself, I've seen other people go through where you just start mining your life. You're just spending, like a lot of people do live streams, and that's the future. They kind of want us to be online and streaming to one another, whether people are watching or not. And I don't like to do streams, I like to do videos, but if I'm gonna keep doing this, I just need something different. I'm kind of sick of all this, but if I want to do it, if I feel the urge, I'm gonna sit down and until I take the curtains down or whatever, I'm just gonna sit down and do videos like I'm doing, which is what I've been doing. But when I deleted all my videos, it's because I wanted to I don't want to talk about all my motivations for doing that. It was an offering to God. It was my vanity, ego stuff, and I was like, yes, I'm really attached to this. I want to give it back to God, and because there's things I wanted help with from Him. But along with that, getting rid of all my videos, it also forced me to try something different, and here I am sitting down with the same way that I've been doing it before, except I walk into frame, which is just something I did because I was like, I didn't realize, like, I pretty much edit every video to some degree, so why don't I just walk into the frame and sit down? So now I'm doing that. Like, that's not really a big change. This is the same kind of content I've been making before. But a lot of people make videos now, and I can see the burnout. It's the time of year when people have a burnout. And maybe it's just that they want to go outside. The weather's better as we go into summer. But, yeah, I mean, I think I had that too. And there are, if you remember Extreme Narcissism TV from like years ago, from like 2014, 15, whenever I started it, because I had several different podcasts and channels before I even did Extreme Narcissism TV, again, somewhere in like 2013, 14, 15. I can't remember when I started Extreme Narcissism TV. But before then, I had like a bunch of different channels, and some of them going at the same time. I was like a lot of people, you try out, that makes videos, you try out different stuff and you hope something works. And, you know, then think maybe, well, maybe I'll do something that I like to do and then I can make money at it. But the more I went on with videos, I'm like, how can I charge for this? Like, I mean, other people do. Other people talk about stuff of God and they charge for it and they make stupid t-shirts. I don't know what God thinks about the Jesus t-shirts. I'm sure, you know, it's not going to keep people out of heaven, but I've seen a lot of bullshit t-shirts, you know, like advertising for Jesus, and they suck, and I'm like, oh, that's so lame. I would never, you know, I would never be caught wearing, I'm not going to name names, but like channels I like and they have like Jesus t-shirts, I'm like, don't do that. It's lame. And I have my ideas for Jesus t-shirts too, but I never did it. I threatened t-shirts, but I kind of hate the whole t-shirt thing. Going around looking for vintage t-shirts. Do you know about this? The t-shirt bros, or whatever you want to call them. They go around Goodwill's looking for like t-shirts from the 70s. Look, here's the vintage Mustache Rides t-shirt. Whatever. Just go check into a funeral parlor, you bozo. I hate those guys. I hate the fucking t-shirt thing. So, you know, like if I don't like a thing, then how can I be part of it? I can't. And anyway, do I have enough of like, I'm not going to make t-shirts and hope that my viewership goes up or whatever. It's just, it doesn't make any sense for me to make t-shirts. But this has been my free hobby. Like, it doesn't cost me anything to make these. It's just, if anything, it's a source of frustration when, like, now I've been taken back a step. I've been making YouTube videos for years, and I went through like a 2 or 3 year period where I could only upload 7 thumbnails a day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would upload on the weekend, and then on Saturday I could only try 7 different thumbnails, and then I have to wait 24 hours before I could do 7 more thumbnails. And then finally I had made like enough. I had been making YouTubes for enough or whatever. It's such bullshit that they let me have unlimited thumbnails. Well, now they took it away again, and now they're like, oh, there's some kind of glitch or something, and now I only get 7 thumbnails again, and I have to do 1-step verification. Either I have to scan my head or give thumbprints or any other stupid bullshit options they want me to do just so I can have more thumbnails. So they gave me thumbnails, as many as I want, and then they took it away again. I'm back to fucking 7 sorry for saying fuck to you. 7 thumbnails a day. It's bullshit. So I like doing it, but I have given up on the idea that hey, if you're watching them, this is your open mic. You get to come to my open mic, because I can't see it going anywhere, the content I make. Again, since I'm so shadow banned and all this stuff, I do whatever I want. I don't really want to use the vulgarities and curse words, so I apologize for doing that, because I'm like trying to take that stuff away. But I know that with this video, I am not going in to edit where I said F to you. So again, please forgive me for saying that to you. But I didn't get burnt out as of me deleting all my, like, going on 400 videos that I had on this channel. I didn't delete them because I had burnout. I wanted to do something different, and I was tired of the kind of content I was making, because it was the stuff I was sick of seeing, which is basically just complaining and trashing people. And I'm like, yeah, like, what else? Like, how do I do something that's not that? Like, how do I take my free hobby of making videos And I kind of like editing. I think a lot of people have found out that they like editing. And it's so easy to do, like on your phone. Like if you make videos with your phone. I don't. This is a camera. But if you make videos on your phone, it's probably even easier to edit them. You just do everything right in the palm of your hand. But I need to change. Like the way that I'm doing videos, I don't like. And I don't mind sitting down and just talking to you. But I don't know if it's healthy for you, because other people sitting down talking to me is, I've gotten into this point of burnout of listening. Like I'm basically just listening to people talking, and then they'll put up slides. Like somebody will do a live stream, and then I'll watch that. Oh, they're showing pictures of the thing. They're showing whatever. And I'm burnt out on everybody else's content. Like watching it, or like I don't want to hear anything, I don't want to listen to anything. And it's the easiest thing to do. I told you I'm a clip grabber, so I clip grab videos to watch offline. And now like I'm not online. I'm like, okay, it's the evening, I'm gonna like click on a video, file that I have that I clip grabbed, and I start listening to them talking, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to hear this shit. I don't want to hear it. And it's not because I'm overwhelmed by the state of the world, or it's all bad news and Israel and Iran and Palestine, all stuff. It's not that. It's just I'm sick of other people's opinions. Like I'm just sick of it. And I don't watch movies. I don't listen to music. So something that I've done for so long, which is watch content to make content, I'm at another cycle of burnout with all of that. And it's good. Like we're not made to be sitting online all the time. And for me, it's not online, but it is files on my computer. I'm still staring at the same monitor. It's just not online. Oh, I found the way out. I escaped it. I don't have to watch commercials because I clip grab. Well, now I have the content, same content you guys get of, whatever you like. I'm watching the things that I like without commercial interruption ever, and I can't stand the sound of that guy's voice. Shut this bitch up. I don't want to hear another word that she says. I'm sick of everybody's just complaining. I get it. Everything sucks. Everything's falling apart. So my challenge continues to be, or has been, hopefully I overcome it. How do I make something that's just funny, that's just comedy? Because I'm sick of, I don't like any of your favorite comedians. How many videos have I done where I talk about how I don't think Shane Gillis is funny, and Texas sucks, and Joe Rogan's a bozo, and I don't care what he thinks or what he says. And you would never want to hang out with your favorite celebrities, whether they're comedians or movie stars or podcasters. You would never want to hang out with people. I've hung out with people that make YouTube videos that get hits. They suck. It sucks hanging out with them. And yeah, it's just like some kind of burnout. But it's the time of year for that kind of burnout. Or maybe it's just like summer fever or whatever you want to call it. But I would definitely say it's burnout. Like, I think the same things that I'm talking about definitely happens to people who have a financial stake in it. Like anytime I want to stop, like I can just stop making videos because it doesn't cost me a dime. It's my time. That has value to me. And I said this before, I don't know if you saw that video, but I had videos loaded up into the end of summer, three a week, into the beginning of September rather. And then on Rumble I had other videos because I did more stuff on Rumble that you can't do on YouTube. Like I put old movies on Rumble and they don't care, they don't give a shit. So I had like a Sunday movie. So I had videos uploaded on Rumble to the end of the year. So my year was full on Rumble, and I was into September on YouTube, and I don't have anything pre-uploaded or whatever you call that. So now, like, I'm just trying to do, it's like exercise to me. It's like I'm trying to do my 3 episodes a week, but I want to do something different. I want to completely change this up. Like, I want to be somewhere else. Like, now the weather's better, I could be outside. I could go to another part of my home. I could go and sit in a storage shed or whatever. And I could go for a drive and, you know, bring the camera. I could do phone videos. I've done phone videos. But my impulse is I want the camera to turn widescreen, and I know that people hate that now. They're like, no, don't make us turn our phone sideways. We want everything to be a square. That's how I started making YouTube videos. My first YouTube videos were all inside of a square, and I wanted it to be like this is, like widescreen. So, like, there's a bunch of people that got a lot of hits, and I knew who those channels were, even though I didn't necessarily watch them all the time, and they just stopped making videos or quit. And there were some channels I thought, like, wow, this guy's going really good, but then he just stopped. Like, I liked Lossless Internet Cancer. Go check out episode 6 of Lossless Internet Cancer. I thought his stuff was pretty good. I was calling him Mini Red Bar because he was like better than, he was like kind of influenced by Red Bar, but his show was better than Red Bar's, I thought. And he was going really strong, and then he just stopped. And I thought, yeah, maybe he just got sick of this shit. Like, once you're actually making the kind of stuff that that guy was making, where it's just like trashing people and looking for faults, you just like realize, like, you know, the hell with this. I just want to have a life. This sucks. Like, I don't know how some of these guys do it. These guys that go around like looking for the lolcows and making fun of Mersh videos, and how did it, it's like, ugh, I can't stand that shit. And like, Pot Awful has a neat set, but I can't, like, I couldn't live like that. Like, just looking, just, I couldn't do it. I mean, I guess it's different if you incentivize, you have money. You really have to love, like, making t-shirts, making fun of Nick Rekieta or whatever, but it's like, it's, yuck. I mean, I might as well just say that kind of shit's beneath me. Like, what a waste of my life watching that guy. Neat set though, and he's funny, but I don't want to see that shit. And I don't know, I guess I just would like to take time to craft stuff. Like, I remember there was a podcast called the Dana Gold Podcast. Did he still do that? He was a comedian. And I didn't even agree with his political opinions, but I liked that he took time to craft his podcast. Like, it took time to make the podcast that he made. Like, he had like musical interludes, and he had different segments that he did. And it's not as simple as just, it's like one extra step beyond me just sitting down in front of the camera. And now what Dana Gold did in his podcast, which I think was on the Earwolf Network, which sucks because that's all California bozos. They all melted down. Did they melt down Earwolf and everybody went to go live in Texas or New York or whatever? Who gives a shit? I spent a week in California. It was the longest I ever spent in California. And I was like, it kind of reminded me of Texas. It was just flat and all like mini malls and stuff like that in California. I don't know that there was malls in Texas like in California, but everything was just flat and it was ugly and it sucked. And I was like, this is California. And I'm not, you know, the weather was nice. It must, you know, whatever. So anyway, they melted it down for the smart cities, which is terrible. But that's why they did it. So they're probably doing that all over the place. Any place where just like, yeah, we want to put a smart city here. They're just going to start burning everything down. And then encourage the crazies to come after you wherever you live. Yeah, just get everybody. We all want to live in communist Lego houses. They won't even be cinder blocks. It'll be like cinder blocks with plaster and plastic or something. You can't get rained on. You just go back to living in fucking tents, like in the Bible. Yeah. You know, you can pray. Like, my prayers include BlackRock, that God would destroy it and take it apart. dismantle it and open the pit and send them down alive into hell. I pray for stuff like that. Like, Lord, please give Bill Gates nightmares every night until he realizes that he's evil, and then he's going to hell forever, and he won't get out of it unless he lays down his life as a holy martyr for all the evil he's done on his orgy boats or whatever. You can pray, you know. Pray for their salvation, and then say, but if they can't be saved, then they won't be saved, Lord. Please stop them so that they stop ruining and drinking the blood of our children and all this stuff. If one more guy gets knighted by King Charles by smashing a baby's head with a walnut hammer, you know what I mean? Like, it's enough. Like, this shit has to stop. You didn't know that's how you get knighted by the Queen? Yeah, that's Sir Paul McCartney had to smash a baby. Sir Ridley Scott, they had to smash a baby's head with a walnut hammer, which is a tiny little thing. So it takes a lot. You gotta keep. It's not an easy thing to do. To be knighted by the Queen, you have to smash a baby's head with a walnut hammer. Then drink and eat the brains. So. I've been burnt out before with making content, because there are several times in the past where I ended Extreme Narcissism TV, or The Man Without a Pop Culture was another channel I had where I liked the name Man Without a Pop Culture. I still am the Man Without a Pop Culture. I said I don't listen to music, I don't watch movies. So I know what it's like to have that burnout of, I've said everything, I've spent my own personal life that I'm willing to talk about. I've also talked about stuff that I shouldn't have. I've talked about everybody else. I remember, like, one time I did a count and I did like 25 videos shitting on Joe Rogan, like by 2016 probably, and I'm like, that's enough. I'm tired of complaining about this guy. I was doing that first. I was complaining about Joe Rogan before other guys had their channels predicated on it and they make money. I was doing it before Podcast Cringe or Comedy Cringe or Comedy Enforcement or Too Lazy to Try. That's old to me. I did that shit first, along with probably like 6 other people that just hated Joe Rogan and said that one day Joe was going to have to apologize for telling people to take drugs because he helped to mess up the world, because most people can't handle their high, because you were never meant to handle your high. You were meant to get high and have it destroy you. So now Joe's going to have to pay up right here in front of everybody because they're going after him. That's how it works. They love you and then they hate you. That's why it's never good to go too big, right? Because they're just gonna look. They're gonna see everything about you and they're gonna find faults, because they're not gonna stop looking till everybody agrees that they don't like that, whatever they don't like about Joe. I didn't like that he kept telling people that, oh, you haven't lived unless you had a psychedelic experience. You got to do a ketamine drip and you can do mushroom drips or whatever. No. The stars of death. Joe Rogan and his buddies. That's probably Joe Rogan's only funny friend, because that guy's nuts. The Joey Diaz guy. That's Joe Rogan's funniest friend. That's Joey Diaz. And that guy doesn't even know he's a joke. Yeah, that rapist. Outright horrible drug dealer scumbag guy. So yeah, here I am trashing on people again. I'm sick of it. Like, is it possible to make fun, to make funny videos without making fun of people? I don't know. I guess that's Mr. Bean did that already. You want me to like slip around on banana peels and shit and put a turkey on my head? I don't think so. I think you've seen it already. So yeah. Maybe it's just time for me to just like stop doing this. I mean, I've kept it open. I'm like, nah, whenever I want to make a video, I'll have this here to make a video. But I've also, I do have videos loaded you know, like I said, I don't know if you heard me say this before, not in this video, but in other videos, where it's like, if you're going to start a podcast, be ahead a couple of months. Like, you should have like 3 months worth of podcasts. And by that, I mean, like, you know, like, you should probably do, if you're going to be serious about making videos, I don't know why you would, but you should have like stockpiled episodes so that, you know, if you're not making anything new, like, the videos will go on till you catch up with, you know what I mean? So you're always ahead, in short. Like, if you want to make videos, you should always be ahead. They have these, your munitions, you have your videos stockpiled so that you can always, you know, you can keep making them and always be ahead. And I was for the longest time. And it's the first time where I don't have, you know, videos into, well, into the beginning of September. I don't have those videos. They're not going up anymore. I also did do videos. It's always me. It's like a one-man show. But I did do videos, like interviews where I had people on. You're never going to see those videos. I even had people, you know, like when I had more views, they were like, you should come on my stream or whatever. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I've been a one-man show. I have complete control over all this. Like, I could do whatever I want, and, you know, except for when YouTube strikes videos down. But also, a lot of the stuff that got my videos struck down, I don't talk like that anymore anyway. So self-censorship has come to me because of God, even though I did say fuck to you this episode. Oh, I said it again. I have to find a way to go on living. Spiritual warfare is a for real thing. Like, my sleep isn't even sleep. When I go to sleep, I just get attacked. I wake up tired. That's been going on for a long time. I've been praying since last year for perfect rest, and God has not granted it. So does that mean I'm progressing spiritually because I'm under constant spiritual warfare, that when I lay down to sleep, it's just more attacks in the spiritual realm? What is it that I'm saying? Am I doing bad things? I'm leaving myself open up to the spiritual warfare? Or is it a sign of progress because they're really coming on strong, and God's like, just, you know, endure this season, which has been going on since like last year. It's a frustrating thing to have to, every time I wake up from sleep, I have to rebuke and break covenants and, you know, renounce, denounce, rebuke, reject, release, and just undo the shit that they're trying to contract me into my sleep. I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about when I say this shit, but that's, I mean, my sleep is, as far as I'm concerned, it isn't even sleep. It's not even rest. That's helping contribute to the burnout, I'm sure. But I'm burnt out on watching stuff. And also, you know, with the better weather, I have a lot of gardening. It's a lot of stuff. I'm reconsidering getting more livestock. Might be a good idea. Family stuff. I'm a grandpa now. But I like this. This was like a thing I did for me, to make these videos, and then hope that you like them. Hey, come to my open mic. And now I've turned it into, like, basically I'm just hanging out in David Lynch's Black Lodge where I do my videos. I guess it's my realm, and his shadow band. It's just, I mean, how many videos have you seen with the red curtains? Everybody does the red curtains because it's like a movie theater. There's red curtain videos. There's the plank wall, that's a new thing. And then there's sitting around with toy collections and a shelf of like IKEA box shelf, and you put your fake idols and Pokemon video game statues and Superman, Batman shit. Or you're in a horror room. Here's my horror and VHS collection, asshole guy. Fake video store set. Neon, everybody's got neon signs and shit. I thought about that. What's my neon sign gonna be? Or rather, my LED sign. I don't know, what would it say? EXN TV maybe? I don't know. But I want something different. I'm just trying to figure out different content. Or maybe I'm just gonna make future Scott shorts again. where I just go and LARP that I'm the last man in the world basically, and everyone else is skeletons. Because I used to do that. Did you ever see my future LARP videos? I had fun making them, but there's nothing. It's just everybody's dead, and I'm scavenging. Is that really content, or is it just like, prophecy? I'm scavenging car seats for French fry bits and chewed cigars, broken stale cigarettes, offerings to my demons. No thanks. Oh look, I found a bag of weed. I can't even do that shit anymore. Did you realize I literally, because of me wanting to get closer to God, it really is true, like believe it. Because of me wanting to get closer to God, I can't look at girls' naked tits. I can't fuck them. I can't smoke anything. Cigarettes, cigars, weed, no vapes, no alcohol. I have to be sober because whatever it is that God's given me, immediately, legalistic ways of demons is what I'm talking about right here in this part. Immediately I get preyed upon by evil. That I should just start doing videos about that kind of shit, like spiritual warfare stuff. Like the more you know, the more like, sometimes I'm like, God, I wish I didn't know all this shit that I know now, because now I have no excuse. I know, God knows, the demons know. So there's all this stuff that I used to do in ignorance. Like you can do stuff in ignorance and get away with it and not get punished or preyed upon by evil. But if you know about stuff like I know about stuff, it's severe and swift. Like any opening, like if you want to be closer to God and you make any kind of, I guess you would call it spiritual progress closer to God, there's all kinds of stuff you can't do anymore. You can't get away with. You just can't get away with it. You get preyed upon immediately, and all kinds of weird stuff happens because you leave yourself open to spiritual warfare. The demons are around. You can't see them. It's incorporeal. They're either in you or around. And if you mess up, they're just chomping at the bit. Lord, but he did this. Now that means that we can bother him like this, and then they mess with your shit. It makes me think of the movie Gremlins. I wish the movie Gremlins is near perfect. The only way that it could be perfect is if the people got punished in the movie Gremlins according to, like, they messed up, like they did something evil, or they did like a mean thing to somebody, cut somebody off in traffic, so that leaves openings for the gremlins to come after you. But that's how it works in life, and I hate it. I mean, it's like you're in sleep, you're in the spiritual realm, and demons, these unclean spirits, pretend to be the people in your dreams, and they try and get you to eat stuff. They try and get you to sign things. They try and have sex with you. They try and get you to have nocturnal emissions. Go read Leviticus about the laws of bodily discharge. What is that? 15 or 18? Leviticus 15 or 18. I can't remember. Laws of bodily I think it's Leviticus 15. Laws of bodily discharge for men and women about flows of blood. Why? Because demons like blood stuff. They're attracted to blood. They're attracted to sex fluids, and if you had a nocturnal emission, you were considered unclean, and you'd have to go outside the camp, and it goes through this whole list, and you're unclean, and you're unclean for this, and this is unclean, and the chair's unclean, and your bed's unclean, and everything's unclean. Now go think about if you go, like it says in Proverbs, where they're giving the young men the warnings, because it's specifically aimed at young men. I forget where it is in Proverbs, where they're warning young men to not be tempted to fornicate, to have sex with loose women. Because it's trouble. So if you do things in ignorance, there's like some kind of leniency from God that you can't be attacked, because the demons it probably goes something like this. The demons go to God, but they did this, and then God goes, yeah, but they're ignorant and they don't know any better, so here's as much as you can bother them. But then, you know better, and then you know that something is wrong, and then you do it anyway, then you're really going to get it. So now I can't have any fun. No movies. They're magic spells that become so transparent. It just is true. They suck. They're evil. Most of the things are bad. The music is evil that has spells put right in it. The lyrics are curses. A lot of them. Especially if it's anything modern. No movies, no TV, no music, no media. Your videos you're watching are just complaining about shit, and like I'm sure there's lots of videos you can watch that are like informational, educational stuff, how to chop wood, how to fix a TV, whatever, if that's useful. How to grow food. These are useful content. How to take better care of your pets or whatever. How to milk a goat. It's all useful stuff. How to grow sunflowers, seeds, whatever. How to have a fish tank, whatever. But there's a lot of stuff that's just trash. And I don't know where I fit in with the kind of content that I've made. And I don't even know what the hell this video is, but it's going up as is. And, it's honest. If nothing else, it's honest. And don't worry, you're not going to be cursed because I said the F word at you. You're going to make it. It's not going to be because you heard that your life is ruined because I said fuck. You'll make it. But that doesn't mean I want to go around saying that word all the time. But I don't know. And I'm also annoyed by other people. Like, I'm also annoyed by the people talking about God. Like, I don't agree. Like, your relationship with God is unique. It's your relationship with God. And I'm tired of these bozos making, like, I almost name names. I'm tired of some of the channels that I watch where they talk about stuff of God. And I like them, and they've helped me and blessed them. But also, it's like, it's my relationship with God, and I want this guy's stupid videos to butt out of it telling me how I'm supposed to talk to my maker. It's my relationship with God. Don't let anybody else take that away from you or make you feel condemned about your relationship with God. It's the most special relationship you're going to have. So I don't care what Demon Erasers tells me about God. Okay? Sometimes he just needs to shut up. Or I'm not listening to that. I don't care what he says. Go cast him out. Go get him. Go get the demons out. But you know what? It's my relationship with God. It's mine. And your relationship with him is yours. But this is my relationship with God. And don't let anybody take that from you. But sometimes, somebody will say something truthful and then you have to change. And don't give seed money and all this stuff, like black people church shit. Like, I don't know what videos you watch, but they're like trying to get you to give money to church, or in my case, aid to the Ukraine. And I'm like, this isn't helping me. This isn't going to bring to me the thing. Like, almsgiving is not denying people money outside the grounds of the church, which I used to go to a church where there was homeless people standing with signs on the church grounds, on the grass, right outside the church after Sunday, and they wouldn't give anybody any money. Like, they went around this woman and the kid, like the woman and the kid were a pole in floodwaters, and the people just poured around her and didn't give her not even one penny. But they were giving like hundreds of dollars of aid and shit to the Ukraine. This woman is right here with a child right in front of your face, and all these filthy Yukis ran away from her, and a child and a little boy. They wouldn't give them a dime, these filthy bastards. So yeah, and orthodoxy, give it the sword. No. It's your relationship with God. You want to know him, then it's your relationship. It's deeply personal. It's the most intimate relationship you will ever have with anyone, save for your wife or your husband. You know what I mean? Those are the top two. God first. Love your neighbor as yourself, of course. But then your spouse. It's God, then your spouse, and then everything else. First God, though. Without the relationship with God, your relationship with your spouse ain't shit. It's not enough. It's not good enough. And yet there's people all over the world that are going to get into heaven because they're just better people than you or me. and they just obey his laws without even knowing that that's what they're doing. He knows that too. But it'd be better that you have a relationship with God. So I don't give a shit what Brian thinks about, because no. So yeah, so I'm kind of burnt out on watch. I've been here before. I've done this video before over the years where I'm like, I'm burnt out. Like, I remember doing the first video I did, like probably in 2018 or something, where I talked about how I was burnt out, how I don't watch comedy podcasts anymore. And I still don't. I don't watch a single comedy podcast. The closest thing to a comedy podcast I watch was Charles Carroll's his schizophrenic live streams. That's it. They're good. They're fun. I get a lot of his references. I'm old too. That guy's older than he looks. He's got to be in his 50s or something. So anyway, so that's the closest thing to a comedy podcast I've watched. Like the Sam Hyde. Well, that's not true, because I said I watch Pod Awful's a podcast, right? That's a comedy podcast, but I just don't like that kind of stuff, like making fun of these guys that I wouldn't know about if he wasn't making fun of them. That goes back to the Medicare and all that shit I did. Yeah, I'm burnt out on all that. I get it. Somebody else is worse off than me. Let's watch iDubbbz be ruined forever and with no redemption arc. That's awful. I'm trying to think of people who just went away and started camera cut off there. I don't know when. I'm trying to think of people who went away and never came back. It seems like it's addictive. Like, they go away and then they try to come back to the world through making videos, and people are like, man, sorry. I know it's happened to people, but I'm trying to think of who. I don't know. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people where they get shamed away. Did Cartoon Gossip Train, did she come back yet? Where she did that non-apology because she's a cruel narcissist. She's probably hot in the sack though. You know what I'm talking about? She was doing shows for kids where she put lipstick on, like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Cartoon Gossip Train. Remember that? It was the worst YouTuber apology in the world. I think she still has the record for that. The worst apology ever. That was an attack and not an apology, and she did it with a ukulele. And she smashes the ukulele at the end. That would have been a better ending, right? What's her name? Miranda? I can't remember anymore. She come back yet? Yeah, I don't know, who gives a shit. But I wonder if there isn't some kind of like spiritual toll you pay for if your whole way that you make money is making content online that's like trashing other people or retards and autists and off the charts on the spectrum people. Is that why they always get sick? Like, is that, you know what I mean? Like, does it give you cancer? Like, if all you do is spend your time, you know, looking at internet cancer, that if it makes you sick. I mean, I guess it doesn't really happen to everybody. But, you know, like Kiwi Farms, or Kiwi Tapes is what they call that now, right? Like, yeah, I wouldn't even want to go there. But people have the burnout, right? And then they'll tell you, like, I've seen videos where people are like, look, I've just had burnout. I'm not doing any live streams again. That kind of shit. I used to do live streams. I don't want to do them. And besides, like, I feel like live streams are the thing where you ask for money because you're interacting with people. Like, if you make videos that take time to make, I just sit down in front of a camera. I get asking for money at people like your videos, your episodes or whatever. And you're like, well, if you give me money, then I can make better episodes because I can afford to live a lifestyle of making videos. But, you know, I don't know. I'm pretty much invisible too. Do I really get to ask for money? I don't know what I would do with it if you gave it to me for the videos. Get a new camera without dead pixels. But do dead pixels really matter when you don't even need to watch me? I'm just sitting down in front of a camera, and I like to play with lighting and sets, and the sets are kind of boring as of late because I've been busy. It's like more time doing everything in life. Everybody's complaining about the money and shit. So, except for those who aren't. I mean, right now, some people are having a hard time with money, and other people are making their fortunes. So, maybe get a Bitcoin for your grandkids. Yeah, so I don't know, I spend a lot of time on my ass in front of the camera complaining, and I'm burnt out on it. And I'm also burnt out again. I've just reached another one of those cycles where I'm burnt out on other people complaining about stuff. Like last night, I was up later than I should have been, and I had clip grabbed a bunch of stuff, so I just started going through it, and everything that I watched, I couldn't even get through 5 minutes of anything, like delete it. And some of it because I'll watch a thing and then I'll delete it, and if I like it, I'll save it and put it in another file, and like I'll keep stuff that I like. But I just started deleting. Like, I don't give a shit about, I don't care what this guy thinks about this. I don't care. She has a dumb opinion. I don't want to hear it. It's just complaining. Because I don't think it's healthy. Like, we're not supposed to. I mean, we live in the world. The internet is just not going anywhere. They're going to keep pushing us more to it, and until the point where everybody's just at home streaming to each other, and it's a popularity contest globally or regionally throughout the globe of just who watches each other's content, and we just trade emojis with each other. I said that years ago too. Everybody's going to stay home and put bits of plastic inside their bodies, and and as cam girls and cam guys, and send each other porn emojis, and everybody's gonna be gooning and edging, and everyone's gonna be on camera. So it was only be the hottest people that have the most views, and there'd be nothing else to do but watch each other's content, and it'd only be socially acceptable complaining and not any of the real truth stuff that, like, it is possible to get blackpilled or you just give up. But maybe there's even some hope in that, like where you go to the point where you just get blackpilled and you give up, where it's like you can just actually get your life back because you can stop worrying, because you're like, this is too much. It's like, I can't, like all the food is poison. That's the one that can get to you, right? You're like, shit, they're poison. Like pretty much every single fucking thing we eat it's got poison in it. Yeah, you gotta eat. Go ahead and eat something. Just try to avoid the things that are openly labeled bioengineered ingredients. What else are you gonna do? Grow food? Yeah. Not everybody has that luxury of growing food. But we do what we can. We probably don't do enough. But develop a relationship with God, and don't stop praying no matter what, because one of the things that's been stolen from me by somebody that I watch, I'm like, you got that from me. And they say, keep praying, and I'm like, yeah, but it's a truthful thing. I can't take it away from anybody else just because they get more views than me. Yeah, you got to keep praying, because that's what the one thing that the wealthy elite whose fortunes shape the fates of nations don't want you to do. They don't want you to pray to Jesus and ask for help, and that's the guy you ask for help. It's our Father who art in heaven, his only begotten Son. Before you didn't have my name, now you have my name, now use it. Pray to Jesus and ask for help, and find in the scriptures the thing you want help with, and then shoot it back at him. Lord, as it is written, it says here in Isaiah 11:2 that you would give me wisdom, understanding, might, your counsel, and that I would delight in the fear of you. I want that. You said in the Bible that was for us. I want that, because if I can have wisdom, it'll help me navigate everything else in the whole rest of my life. I pray for wisdom. That's the whole thing about Solomon, is God said, I'm impressed with you, Solomon, and you're David's son. What do you want? And he said, I want wisdom, because that's the thing that you ask for. It helps you navigate life no matter, no matter where you're going or what kind of idiot you are. I'm not very smart. I never was in the past. I don't know, maybe God's shaping me up into something in my second shorter half of life. Or, really, It's just the second shorter half of earthly life unto life eternal, which has never an end, where there's no more tears. You know, if I can get in. So, you know, we gotta pray to God, ask for help. And I'm having like some kind of creativity thing. Like, there's so much stuff I did. I paint, I draw, I sculpt, and all those things, I don't know how to use those talents or abilities, I would call them. I don't know if I'd say that those are my talents that I'm bearing, but these are my abilities, and I don't know what to do with them anymore, because I don't know what my skill set of my career, how it's costing me money. Like, I don't know what I'm allowed to do with that stuff anymore. So I thought, well, maybe I'll, you know, put it into videos, and if I can make something good, then maybe I can ask for some money just so that I can make more stuff that you like. But I don't want to just ask I'm not going to ask for any money to inform you about God or complain about people. You know, like the idea of asking for money to shit on other people, I don't like. You know, unless it's like BlackRock guys, but then sure, give me money for that. When is MDE gonna? MDE did Extreme Peace. That's their World Peace Season 2. Did they do an MDE drone school sketch? Because they should do that one. MDE drone school, because now you can send a drone to go after CEOs of whatever. I'll be careful what I say. But you saw it, so you're probably on a list for watching my videos. It's probably a bad list. Maybe you should go watch Japanese cartoons, and then you're not a threat. Go watch Golden Boy Conan. That was a hit for me on my Rumble channel. I have a Rumble channel, Extreme Narcissism TV on Rumble. There's no videos there. I'm like, Rumble lies. They're not even real views. I'm like, the hell with Rumble. And besides, Rumble's like a political channel, and I don't know what it is I do. I like to do a cornucopia potpourri of, I do whatever I want here on YouTube, but now I want to do something different. Do you want me to get the dog puppet again? People used to request that. When anybody that remembered it years ago, they would say, do more videos with the dog. It's just my hand with a dog puppet. I used to be a puppeteer, so I'm pretty good at it. Because I know that, like, if you know anything about puppeteering, the thumb is the thing that's supposed to be moving, because that's the jaw. You see how I do it without even thinking about it? And it's just a hand. Puppets are so creepy and weird to me. It's a hand. But anyway, I don't think there's any Scott's dog puppet videos forthcoming. But if I do them, then if that's what I wanted to do, I'll do it. I have a whole bunch of my dog puppet videos you never saw. Like, I never put them up. I'm like, this is weird. This is like, I'm too old to be doing like a hand. I hate puppets. I hate them. But they're useful. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna start like Pee-wee's Playhouse and do videos for children, but I look like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror with a better hairline. Shit, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me. I just wanted to do shop talk about making content. And I don't really plan on going away and not making videos. Maybe the frequency will die down, but it's easy enough to come, like, for me to just sit down in front of a camera and have like videos I've changed my schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Those are the days when I'm going to release videos. And I don't care what algorithms and all this stuff it doesn't even matter to me. It's 3 days a week. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if I don't have them, then, just wait a day, and then there'll be another one. And then the weekends, you take a break and pray to God. Unless I start doing my Sunday sermon stuff again, where I just put up videos about God on a Sunday. I kind of like the idea of that, but also, since it's my personal relationship with God and I've gotten closer to Him, I don't know that He wants me to talk about Him the way that I've been. It's one thing for me to read to you Book of Revelation, but it's another to tell you what I think about that when you masturbate and you drop goo, that it's making demons, because I don't know if that's true, but I kind of believe that it is. And those are some of my most watched videos, like what happens when you masturbate. You're having sex with demons, and they're gathering the goo to make Casper the unfriendly ghost, and then it haunts you. You're unclean. It's making unclean spirits, and then they haunt you every time you jit. It's making goo goblins. It could be true. I mean, there's a movie in that. Like, remember those? Like in the 80s, Gremlins came out and had gremlins and munchies and critters and ghoulies, and there's more. The direct-to-video VHS puppet monster movies. There's a whole bunch of Norm the Gnome. Whatever. There's so many of those movies, but the one that they should make now, where it's like just literally Frankie Frico's like a modern take on the 80s puppet movies. Do you ever see Frankie Frico? That guy's a Satanist. I'm just saying. Astron 6, they're Satanists. Okay, and they're against God. Like, they can't do a movie without shitting on, trashing God. You ever see Psycho Goreman when she breaks the cross? That's awful. So yeah, once they, like, if you're a filmmaker, just make a movie where every time somebody masturbates, they're surrounded by another demon, and this guy's jacking it so much to the internet that he creates a gremlins rampage throughout the town, where it's the ghoulies, the coomlins or whatever, and they're just ruining. Maybe I should make that video. It's like a bunch of socks that would come in them, and then they're like eating people, because you guys used to beat off in socks. They do that anymore. They use Sonic the Hedgehog now, I guess, or inside of a boot. Shoot your jits in the boot. All right, I'm gonna go. Sorry for being disgusting, but the world is a fallen world, but yet it's beautiful, and I want to be able to focus more on the beautiful stuff, and I'm not gonna get that if I keep watching you guys bullshit videos. Maybe I need to take time to craft stuff more thoughtfully, and I don't really know. So we'll see what I come up with. I'm gonna be trying out. Maybe this is gonna be a time for me through the summer, whenever I have time, to experiment with, like, might be time for me being bad. Like an artist makes sketches, and you're not really supposed to see the artist's sketchbook. Everything in a sketchbook isn't supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be a place to be bad. So YouTube used to be my open mic, a place to be bad, and there was a lot of videos of me being very bad at making YouTube videos. So maybe it's going to be like that again as I try new stuff out, and for my free hobby. And, or maybe I'll just quit and, like, find other things to do with my life instead of sitting down making this or editing, me as an old man that's too old to be going on LARPs, scavenging the wastelands. I don't know. It's just part of my suspended adolescence, I guess, is making these stupid videos. I made videos as a kid on Super 8 where you didn't know if it even worked, and then you have to wait for the film to get developed, and you realize it didn't work, and then you have to do, used to do stop motion animations, and you get like every 12th frame would be like an image, and then the lighting just wasn't right, or the sun moved, and the whole thing was boned. Yeah, so I started out making Super 8s. Then I made stuff on VHS. I remember going to Sears and getting a not prosumer, they didn't have it back then. Just getting a home consumer VHS camcorder where you could record 6 hours, because a VHS tape would be like 6 hours. I could record like 6 hours of crappy VHS stuff. And then, so I've been making videos, films. I actually did make films since I was a child. And then it became, they had consumer VHS recorders. I had one of those. And then I had a Bolex and an Arriflex. This actual film cameras. We were going to make a movie, me and my buddy. We never made the movie, though. And I sold the camera. I think I got $8,000 for it when I sold it. I sold it on eBay. And it was noisy too. They don't tell you that. So, and it just became so easy because they want us to record everything and get used to being on camera all the time. That's why they put it in your hand. It's just to pervert us. Look what they did to the women with the cameras. Didn't you see my videos on the end of the womb, or whatever I called those? There's like 2 parts. And I could go 3-part. I could keep going on my "they're trying to destroy women" videos. I'm against it. You know, I think they're great. I love women. But we're not getting to see what they are and what the best of them is. They're only seeing them exploit themselves, and then men are trashing them too. Like, men and women were made for each other. And I really do. Like, it sounds like a weird thing. Like, if somebody in the past would say, "Oh, I love women," you'd think they're a creep. No, I do. I love them. Like, they're great. But we're focusing on the wrong things about women, and they're exploiting themselves, and we're not, you know, I blame Adam, okay? Not Eve. He was supposed to be the boss, and he didn't tell her not to do that. And when she came to him with the forbidden fruit, she's like, "Here, try it," and he did. He should have said, "What did you do? God, Dad, she took the fruit. What am I know you told us not to do that. She did the thing." You know, that's a different story for humanity if that's what Adam did. If Adam had taken it to God, that's why I'm telling you to take it to God. Adam didn't do that. He didn't say, "Look, oh, Dad, look what Eve did. Please, you know, I love her. Look at her body. You know, look at this crazy body of Eve. She's naked. Wow." But actually, they didn't know that they were naked until after they had the forbidden knowledge. They were innocent until then. But that's what we've been given. We have recourse to aid from the maker of all things. We have the most advanced technology that's ever going to be ever available to us. We have a direct line to the creator and maker of all things. That one's mine. Okay? But it's yours too. So tell God you're sorry and ask for help. Planet Daddy issue. Call your father. Amen. Sometimes it's hard to end episodes. I know I did the call your father and you saw that. But I just wanted to more wrap this episode up. Have you acknowledged that you go through this too? It's your burnout from watching or listening to content? Yeah, sometimes you have to step away. And the fix for that isn't going to video games. Like, I'm tired of watching and listening to videos. I mean, if you're doing it at work, it helps you get through work, then you're not going to stop. But do you recognize that we used to live our lives? I don't know how long you've been here, but I lived in a world, even into adulthood, where there wasn't always noise. Like, the only interference you could have in your life was TV or the radio. And I never cared about the radio. Radio was girlfriend stuff. My girlfriend, you know, the girls like to listen to the radio. I never cared about that. You know, and having TV on. Like, I remember having relationships, going to bed to the TV on, or going to bed to 6-hour VHS tapes of her favorite sitcoms. You know, to sleep. Because of stress or whatever, it was distressing to have VHS tapes, whatever. I did it too. I'm trying to think of stuff that I went to bed to. Just turn my brain off, whatever. But now people have the internet on all the time, and people even go to sleep with the internet. Like, they'll have 11 hours of crickets, and they'll be online in their sleep. That's not good. I don't even know what that's like. I don't go to sleep with the computer on. I don't even want the internet plugged in when I'm not using it. I have Ethernet. I just take it out when I'm not using it. You know, some people leave their computers on all the time. Maybe, and I don't know you. You know that. But I'm not special, so you and I have the same complex of human emotions. So maybe even if you're not feeling a burnout, see what it's like to live in a world before the internet, because most of history was, you know, like, this is a new thing that we can be piped into the internet all the time, because we really can. And they want us to be. Who's they? The wealthy elite whose fortunes shape the fates of nations. They want us to be plugged into the internet all the time. And it's ruining us. So I feel a lot better without it, and yet I've been tied to making these videos that I keep, like, well, I gotta have my 3 a week, and I have to be ahead on them so that I can just skate for a while and not make videos. And I did do that. I said I had videos loaded up until the end of September, and I still deleted them all. So now I'm starting over. And You don't even know what cool stuff I had. Nobody will ever, you'll never know. And it doesn't matter because you have a life anyway. And just turn the fucking computer off. Just turn the phone off. Don't put earbuds in. Just experience life. But then again, I don't know where you live. It may be better to have, you know. I remember years ago somebody said, stop shitting on video games because I have a crap job and I come home and I live in a box and all I have as any kind of escape is just playing video games online with my friends because we all, you know, everybody's separated by space and time and jobs, and I get together with my friends online and we play games, and that's like the best part of the best part of his life. And yeah, I mean, what am I gonna say? It's true. Like that guy was being honest. So, you know, we takes what we can get. But, you know, if you want a dimension to your life and you're not already asking God for help, I would definitely add that in there, because you're never going to have a closer, more intimate relationship than you will with the maker of all things. The only thing that even comes close to being like that is, you know, sex with a woman that you can trust. And I don't know if I ever dated one that I could trust, but sex is pretty great. But, you know, it has to be sanctified, so you got to get married first. Good luck with that. But, you know, intimacy with God, it's, I dare say, with the world such as it is, and the internet not going away, and probably you're probably not going to throw it away and live off the grid or whatever until they take the grid away, which is probably coming. So maybe get ready for that. Like, shit, I don't know. Maybe you need a break from the internet, because I need a break from the internet. So that's the best I can offer. Hey, maybe you should do what I'm doing. Hey, you know what? The internet sucks right now. Maybe you should turn it off too. Doesn't that sound selfish? You know what? I'm hating the internet right now. I think you should hate it too. Whatever. You're gonna do whatever you want to do anyway. But the one thing I would add is, and I will leave you with this, is that I blame Adam. No, I do. It says Adam's sin. They don't really refer to it, mostly when they're bringing up original sin in the Bible. It's like pretty much Adam's fault, because he was supposed to be the boss, and that's why, you know, God told us directly the husband is the head of his wife. Because Adam was in the garden by himself and he behaved, and then when Eve showed up, you know, that messed everything up. And pray to God and ask for help, because we're going to need that help. And we also need to be as many people praying as possible, so that our collective prayers will stave off all the evil that these bastards are trying to do to us. And, you know, obviously, did I tell you that Trump was a bozo? I said so. I told you before he was elected, I was like, doesn't matter, left wing, right wing, it's the same bird, and that bird is a turkey vulture. And Elon Musk is evil. And he's the devil's champion. That's his Twitter Halloween costume thing. Whatever. So anyway, I'm going to go now. I thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you got something out of this. I don't know what that will be. I hope it was something. Anyway, pray to God and ask for help. It is Planet Daddy issue down here. It's the one issue we all have. It's the unifactor. So Planet Daddy issue, and here's the part where I do this. You ready? Call your father. Amen. Amen to that.